Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim, coming to you from the retired life in beautiful Boynton Beach, Florida. What do you guys think about my backyard? Definitely got it made. Today's video is another video regarding retirement and collecting Social Security at 62 rather than waiting until 67. I made a few videos about this, and it's a very interesting topic. Most people, I would say the very most people, are in complete agreement that you should collect your Social Security at 62 years old rather than waiting a day later. And I'm going to explain to you in layman terms why. I don't have all the numbers that I've made in my previous videos, but I'm going to be able to explain it to you because I've said it enough times. Now, this is hopefully for people that are new to my channel, that are baby boomers, or any age actually. It really is any age. But I asked my videographer, Miss Tammy behind the camera there, if she would be so kind to Google what years were baby boomers born. And the years were 1946 through 1964. So you can just reverse those two numbers. So I asked Miss Tammy, how old is somebody right now in 2023 that was born in 1964? And that person is 59 years old right now. So they're getting very close to the decision about continuing to work and or collecting their Social Security early. So we still have many people coming in that are baby boomers every month, every year for the next 3 years that are becoming retirement age. And like I said earlier in the video, even if you're in your 30s or 40s or 50s, this would be pertinent information for you to listen to. So if you're that close, you really need to get yourself in gear. The advantage of you younger folks that are in their 50s or even earlier, you want to take heed to what I'm telling you, because this is how it's going to be a great, great life for you. This is the life that I have. This is the life that a lot of people have because they were very fortunate and they had the foresight. You know, when you're young, you think you're going to live forever. You think that, you know, you have forever. And the older you get and the less runway you have in front of you, the more you realize how, you know, short life really is. You look back and you say, wow, yesterday I was doing this, or yesterday I was there, or yesterday my kids were, you know, in school. So what I want to say first is you need to be debt-free. Folks, if you have lots of credit cards, multiple cars, mortgages, streaming services, high-cost cellular services, you go out to dinner a lot, you're spending your discretionary money on senseless things rather than paying down your debt, you're making a big mistake. What you want to do is you want to get your debt down so that when you collect that first Social Security check, it's going to be all yours. Now, you're not going to go without working. Most likely, if you're going to collect Social Security at 62, if you're like most Americans and you just worked most of your life, you had various jobs, but you paid your taxes, and so therefore you're entitled to a Social Security check. Now, some people that have worked on the same job that can retire even sooner than 62 can get a pension. Well, you're even in better shape. So, but this is going to be about people that don't have anything else at 62 other than they can collect their Social Security and they can also work part-time. So let's go back to the debt. All right. You need to be debt-free because if you have a lot of debt and you only have a Social Security check and you want to live a life that's fun and retired and not have to go to a job 40 hours a week, if you have this many bills, it's just like 2 and 2 is 4. You can't do it. So you have to be excited. This will get you excited about getting rid of that debt. It really will. When I was younger, I had no motivation. I didn't know these things. I wasn't fortunate enough to run across this kind of information. But I was fortunate enough to always be a minimalist and someone that never really incurred a lot of debt. I have always paid as I go. Pay as you go and you never owe. That's what my grandfather taught me. So I've had payments, I've had debt, but I don't anymore. I got rid of it. And it's a great feeling. So you get rid of your debt. You work, if you're in your 30s, 40s, 60s, 50s, and you're approaching that 62, let's go ahead and do everything we can. Let's lose all the streaming services. Let's watch my videos on Visible Wireless and change your wireless company on your cell phone. I know you have one, to a $25 a month service. You don't need to pay more than that, including taxes. And what would you get for that? You watch my video. Just Google Visible Wireless and look for Sarasota Tim. Hundreds of people have joined Visible Wireless through what I've shared of what it cost, and it's Verizon, and it's $25. It may be $30 now. Don't quote me. I think it's still $25. It is $25. My videographer's telling me, and that includes a hotspot. You can even cancel your home Wi-Fi and power your smart TV, your laptops, your iPads, whatever that needs Wi-Fi. And you only have to pay $25 a month. Netflix, HBO 2s, Cinemaxes, and all these things, folks, are nothing but garbage. They get nothing but nasty stuff on them. There's no programs worth watching. It's money, it's reruns. Just use the air channels. And there's Hulu, not Hulu, there's Peacock, there's, what's that one that I watch? Pluto. Awesome movies that you can watch. And you have the air channels, get you an air antenna. Start saving now. You say, oh, Tim, what is that, $20 a month, $25 a month? Well, you might have 2 or 3 of them. And even $20 a month times 12, that's $240 a year. That's $240 a year you can pay towards that debt you got, and getting out of it. So, have yard sales. Sell that stuff that's been sitting in your garage that you've had for years. Go in your garage, go in your closets, and get on Facebook Marketplace and have a garage sale. If there's stuff that you own that somebody else would give you money for that's of value, put your hand on it, look at it and say, do I use you? And if you don't, sell it or get rid of it. Get rid of clutter. Start whittling down, not just your debt, but your life, your belongings. Get down to where you have more square footage in your house. You can put your second car in your garage. Clean out everything. Clean out your closet. Clean out your mind. Stop listening to negativity and the media. So, okay, let's do all that. Let's get our debt down. And now, why do we want to collect at 62? What about what they tell you this advantage is of collecting your Social Security at 63, 4, 5, 6, and 7, which is the full retirement age if you're born after 1960? Well, folks, the disadvantage is, the scam is, they want you to collect later so they can give you less. Did you know that there was a famous movie star that Miss Tammy told me that died today? I can't remember the name. Jimmy Buffett. We've all heard of him. Only 76 years old. Folks, did you know that the average age in America for a male is only 73 years old? 73. He made it 3 years past. He didn't live to be 90, 80, 100. So all this long life, and what life is that anyway? Do you realize how age starts working on you? You've seen older people. God bless them. They don't want to go to heaven tonight, but what kind of a life? They wish everything that they could be younger again, 20, 30 years younger. So if you wait till you're 67, you may only have a few years left. If you contract a disease or cancer, you could literally suffer for 5 years or 6 months or 2 years before, you go home to heaven. So, folks, life is no guarantee. At 62 years old, and I think retirement should be 55. I think Social Security should be much earlier, but they keep putting it out because they don't want to pay you. And if you collected at 62 like I did, and I get $1,700 a month, I work for myself most of my life. I wasn't a high earner, and I still get $1,700 because they did raise it quite a bit about a year ago for the first time in 40 years. Maybe it'll happen again over the next couple of years. We can only hope. But anyway, $1,700 a month For 5 years, if I waited until I was 67 years old, I would have lost $102,000 that I'm going to collect over 5 years to live on, to enjoy my life, to work part-time, to subsidize that $1,700. We'll get to the part-time side hustle and working in just a moment. Because yes, it isn't 62 and you're done. 62 and you sit in your chair. No, it's 62 and do what you want to do. Do what you like doing for work. It may be an entrepreneurial gig. You never know how creative and what God could do for you and what kind of new ideas. You could reinvent yourself. But even if you just go to work for someone, or even you kept your own job you've got now, you're a valuable employee, and you tell them you only want to be on part-time, 20, 25 hours a week or less, to subsidize your Social Security so that you have enough money with that low debt or no debt to live a great life. And what do you have though? You have that freedom. You have all this time to go and do all the things that you haven't been able to do for 40 years. Because the first part of your life, you were just growing up. You were just a kid. Then you get that prison job and you work for 30 or 40 years more until you're 62 years old of just going in every day, fighting the traffic, stopping and buying breakfast, having to go out to lunch, paying for a dry cleaner, maintenance on your car, all these costs that you have to incur to go to work. That's why so many people today in 2023 love the remote working job. Maybe that's what you could do part-time, because they don't have to buy all these clothes and pay for all these lunches. They're saving so much, they have more of their paycheck. So if you collect at 62 and you start getting your Social Security, you're gonna find that you're gonna say, wow, what am I gonna do with all this time? Maybe I'll go camping more. Maybe I'll buy an RV. Maybe I'll go visit relatives and friends that I haven't seen 10 years. Maybe, I'll just take up golf, tennis, just travel around, do YouTube, make reviews. Whatever you want to do, it's going to be up to you. But when you have a job, and I call it a prison, because a lot of them are, that's what I always called mine. If you're in a prison job, you don't have a choice. And if you're not there on time, and you don't stay busy doing all you're supposed to do all day long, and that boss is looking over your shoulder, wanting every ounce of work he can get out of you in 8 hours, what kind of life is that? It's so great to finally get free. And at 62, you still feel it. But if you work and you say, oh no, I heard I get a reduced amount, I get a less check if I get it at 62. You don't get a reduced amount. You get the amount. You get the most amount. You get more, because it will take you, without doing all the math, and you can look at my other videos, until you're 80 years old to ever start getting more in your Social Security than you will by collecting at 67. You get $700 more, thereabouts, at 67. You wait 5 years, you keep doing the prison job, you keep spending all that money, going to work and doing all that. And meanwhile, what happened to you? I always use this analogy. Look at a 12-year-old kid and a 17-year-old kid. Look at the difference from a 12-year-old that's relying on their parents and everybody to take care of them. They're just barely out of babyhood. Then you got a 17-year-old, a young adolescent, approaching adulthood, in their prime. Well, what do you think happens from 62 to 67 during that same 5 years? For the most of us, it's a declining effect. You start going down. You're starting to get into that close to 70. And you're getting this attitude where, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. I don't feel like doing that. I don't like driving at night. I don't want to drive anywhere. I don't want to do a lot of things. I just want to sit in this chair, and here I am. Or, God forbid, one of those diseases comes on you. You need hip replacement. Your knees start going out. Your vision, your hearing, and these things start to deteriorate, just like a car, getting more miles on it. And in 5 years, exponentially you grow, just like you do from 12 to 17. You're going to see a huge difference. Right there is a deterrent not to wait and to get this $700 to collect it for what? Jimmy Buffett, if he didn't have a lot of money, I'm sure he collected anyway because it didn't do him any good to wait at 76. So he was getting his, but what good did it do? How many years did he get it? He may not have needed the money, but let me tell you something. He didn't get to enjoy it very long. And the same thing could happen to anybody that doesn't have a pension or has a pension or anything else. If you wait until you're 67 for $700 and keep working and just throw away your life of freedom, of sitting around and doing what you want to do, when you want to do it, to me, I'm always asking, what day of the week is it? Or the date, which is a great thing. And I'm just telling you, folks, do the math. You're going to get $100,000 in the 5 years. How much money are you going to make working, paying the taxes, paying to go to work, and then to get $700 more on your Social Security? Folks, you can still make $21,240 right now. Let's talk about that briefly and I'll wrap up the video. I can earn $21,240 this year and my $20,400 that I'm getting from Social Security. I'm going to make $40-something thousand, like falling out of bed. That's good money when you don't have any bills. Especially if you have a partner in life too, a spouse or a roommate or whatever your deal is at 62, and you can keep your housing costs down. I'm in a collaboration with Miss Tammy, and we both have money coming in every month, so it's half of what it costs us to live as far as the housing goes. So you get a car paid off, and you got your good transportation, you got your housing costs down, maybe you own a house. At that age, you sell it. You take the equity, you buy something smaller, you downsize. You get rid of all the lawn mowing and all that stuff and wasting your weekends on that. Get you a condo, live in the 55 or older community where it's quiet and nice, and they have a clubhouse and activities. Start living that great life. But if you work and you made $21,240 like I'm going to this year, and then next year it's going to be more. 2 years ago it was only 18 or 19 grand. So it keeps going up. And the Social Security will get increases. Don't forget the COLA, cost of living adjustment, will go up. We got $150 more last year. So maybe it'll be another big bump before I turn 67 where I can earn all I want. But at 66, when I become that year full retirement age, if that was this year, I can make $56,520. And the year that you start collecting at 62, you can still make all you want as long as the remaining months that year that you start drawing aren't any more than what they're going to give you every month on average for the remainder of that year, if that makes sense. So you have the first year, you don't have to worry about it at 62. The year you become full retirement age, you can make like 56 this year. It might be 65,000, 70,000, who knows, by the time you reach your full retirement age. And then when you become that full retirement age and you actually hit 67, game over. You can make all you want. So if working is what you're about from 62 to 67, just postpone it. Live a little bit. Enjoy your life. And then just, make all that money later. But take a break and start retiring and start living and start crushing it.